Umkhonto WeSizwe was a product of South Africa's most painful years.
It was a huge signal to the country, to the oppressed majority in the first place, that there's a new way of struggle, that the time comes in the life of any nation where there's only two choices: to submit or fight. And the leadership in the movement chose not to live on the knees, but to stand up and fight.
Kasrils once served as the top eNCA intelligence commander.
The question of how to get back in, we constantly reconnoitred the border areas, because even getting through Swaziland and Botswana was very dangerous. The Boers, as we called them, the racists, they had their secret police, their hit squads. They were hunting us high and low.
He has slammed the current leadership of the Umkhonto WeSizwe Military Veterans Association.
Placing of actual pawns and stooges into ministries and government departments, or into the so-called MKMVA, whose leader happens to be a deserter from an MK camp in Uganda. And the idea that through the Zuma administration you could have such a person appointed as a deputy minister, such a person put in charge of MK Military Veterans Association, together with some of his cronies, is an absolute insult.
This week, the MKVA plans to hand over special awards to former SABC executive Hlawudi Motsoeneng, SAA chairperson Dudu Myeni, and former Eskom CEO Brian Molefe, all controversial figures. But after much criticism, the awards were withdrawn at the last minute.
It was so sickening to see the so-called MKMVA, led by a deserter from our camps, suddenly deciding it's supposed to look after veterans, and it suddenly decides to have a big dinner and to pay awards out to honor people who are absolute blighters, people who are being seen as being part of the same grouping as Zuma, put in positions by him as his pawns.
Kasrils says President Jacob Zuma's administration has failed the nation and cites the states of capture reports and the Nkandla scandal.
It's appalling. We've got to speak out. One's got to find the courage to stand up and condemn it, because people keep quiet. They're frightened. They might lose their jobs. They won't get a contract. They won't get the tender. They might even find their lives endangered, as we've seen people being killed for council jobs.
For many former MK members, December 16th continues to be a day that changed the course of history. But they believe the journey to an equal society remains long and treacherous. Khumalo, Johannesburg.